The story begins with a young girl at the airport, waving goodbye to an airplane as it prepares for takeoff, and as she watches, the plane starts its journey down the runway. Suddenly, there is a catastrophic turn of events. One of the plane's engines is struck by an unexpected object. This causes a massive explosion, engulfing the plane in flames and instantly claiming the lives of all on board. In the midst of this chaos, the young girl stands in shock, her farewell wave frozen into a haunting witness of the tragedy. In the present, the scene shifts to a young woman standing perilously close to the tracks of an oncoming train, seemingly poised to end her life. Her grim resolve is interrupted by an unusual figure. A shirtless man adorned with tattoos, a broken blade protruding from his forehead. He cautions her about the danger of her position, but she responds defensively, brandishing a knife and warning him not to approach, lest he contract a deadly disease. Undeterred, the man advances, and in her alarm, she accidentally stabs him. However, he remains unfazed, even as the knife pierces his body. Intrigued, he grabs her face and inquires what will happen now that he's touched her, and she reveals that she carries a curse of unluck. Almost on cue, the ground beneath him crumbles, sending him plummeting in front of the speeding train, which seemingly ends his life. Overwhelmed with guilt, the woman blames herself, thinking her prolonged existence caused this tragedy. Unexpectedly, the man's severed head rolls back towards her, startling her profoundly. To her amazement and horror, she watches as his body regenerates from his head. Panicked and believing him to be a zombie, she flees. But the man, using his blood to propel himself, catches her and whisks them both to the rooftop of a nearby building. Introducing himself as undead, he shares his centuries-long existence and his quest for someone with the power to end his life. He believes she might be the one to grant him this final release. The girl, now identified as Unluck, reveals the mechanics of her curse. Anyone who touches her incurs bad luck, with more severe consequences for more intimate contact. Undead finds her ability intriguing, but Unluck insists it's a curse. She recounts a painful memory from her childhood, where a loving embrace with her parents at the airport led to a tragic accident. Their plane's engine was struck by an object, causing a fatal explosion. This traumatic event has since compelled her to wear gloves and maintain a distance from others to protect them from her curse. However, during her heartfelt explanation, Undead impulsively tests her power by inappropriately touching her. His action immediately triggers her curse as a box of bananas falls from an airplane, striking him. Seizing this moment, Unluck attempts to escape, but ironically slips on a banana, leading to a perilous fall. As she tumbles down, her thoughts are filled with regret and unfulfilled desires, particularly her yearning to experience love. In a twist of fate, Undead swoops in to rescue her before she meets her demise. He declares his determination to keep her alive, seeing her as the potential key to ending his own cursed immortality. Undead then transports her to his hideout, setting the stage for their intertwined fates to unfold further. As Unluck and Undead, now affectionately nicknamed Andy by Unluck, navigate through the sky, they are unaware of a group of men covertly tracking them. The leader of this group is given the directive to apprehend Unluck upon confirmation of her unique ability. Once they reach their hideout, Unluck, burdened by her long, unmanageable hair, breaks down. She explains her inability to visit a hairstylist due to the fear of her curse bringing misfortune to others. In a moment of unexpected tenderness, Andy takes the matter into his own hands, cutting her hair himself, knowing that he will incur unluck by doing so. Touched by his gesture, Unluck feels a sense of appreciation and kinship towards him. However, their moment is shattered when Andy's head is suddenly severed by the very group that had been tracking them. It's revealed that they had been covertly present in the hideout the entire time, gathering information about Unluck's powers. They identify her as Fuko, and disclose that their mission is to monitor and control individuals like her and Andy, as well as other entities known as Umas around the world. The group's leader accuses Andy of intending to exploit Fuko's powers for malicious purposes. Fuko, however, defends Andy, insisting that he's a good person and has only used her curse on himself. As this confrontation unfolds, the accumulated bad luck from earlier backfires, striking the group member holding Andy's head in a capsule designed to prevent his regeneration. With Andy freed, a fierce battle erupts, Andy discloses that the broken blade in his forehead suppresses his full capabilities. Once removed, he unleashes his formidable skills honed over centuries. He effortlessly dispatches the group members, leaving only their leader standing. After demonstrating his overwhelming power, Andy reinserts the blade into his forehead, explaining that its absence for an extended period could lead to disastrous consequences. The standoff reaches a critical moment as the leader, with Fuko's life in the balance, demands Andy to decapitate himself and throw his head over as a sign of surrender. Fuko begs Andy not to comply, but Andy, driven by his desire to protect her, reluctantly follows the leader's command. Fuko, grappling with the guilt of causing harm to those around her, musters the courage to take a bold action. As Andy's head soars through the air towards the leader, Fuko dashes towards it. In a fleeting, desperate moment, she kisses Andy's head, a gesture of both farewell and defiance. The leader, caught off guard by this unexpected move, fails to realize the implications in time. The power of unluck triggered by the intimate contact unleashes its catastrophic force. The sky ominously parts, revealing a meteor hurtling towards the building. The impact is colossal. Andy is temporarily killed by the meteor strike, but the leader suffers a permanent fate, caught directly in the meteor's deadly path. This dramatic turn of events underscores the unpredictable and often tragic nature of Unluck's curse, as well as the deepening bond between her and Andy, marked by sacrifice and a willingness to face dire consequences together.